Welcome. Let's work with some text properties. Here's my index.html and then we have style.css. And in my index.html, if I just write some kind of h1 and then say, for example, we are writing some text properties and we have a paragraph, welcome to learning text properties, right? And if I just say refresh, there we go. You can see this, we have text and then we have a paragraph. Okay, if I just go to my style and then let me just select, what I'm doing is select h1. If I just select h1, and what I can do is, let me just hide my sidebar right real quick because I don't need it, so you don't get confused. Okay, so we're just learning first of all the text properties, and say for example h1, and then I want to align. The first text property is text align. For example, we can just align the text into center or right, or by default it is left, just like that, right? Okay, how great it is. And then we can write properties just like I think let me just pause the video and paste them real quick and then work with them on browser. We'll see a new thing how we can work with CSS on browser console. Okay, so I just pasted them, and if I just go to browser and refresh, you can see we don't have any effect. I think let me just save this as well. There it is. And if I just right click on my browser and go to inspect or press Ctrl+Shift+I, and you can see we just got some developer tools. And if I just go to element tab, you can see we have console, source, network. There are some great stuff on browser level. And then we have elements, and if I just select the element and go to text properties, there it is. You can see we have a lot of properties applied on text, but they are not working right now. So let's get started with text, which is text align. Now we know that it has, let me just, if I just click on this yellow icon and then let me just give it a value. We know the text align has center. You can see it's on center. If I just add right, it's on right, and if I just add left, which is by default on left. Okay, let me just keep this on center. It works, and this is on browser level. If I just refresh, the effect would be not more, right? Okay, let me just add the center align. And then we have text decoration. So the properties for text decoration is we can just add underline for the text, which is underline, and we can add overline for overline the text, and we can add line through, line dash through, through, which adds line through text. This is kind of for when you add discount price or something like that, right? And let me just make it like underline. Okay, then we have text transform, which could be something like we have uppercase, which make them all the text in uppercase, and if I just say lowercase, we have lowercase, and we can use a very nice, which is capitalize, right, which could help us to make the first character capital. And then we have letter spacing, which is we can add 10 pixels, or we can just increase or decrease the line space. How great it is. You can see we just increase or decrease the line space from this particular area. Now it's in minus, so let me just make it 10 pixels for very normal. And then we have line height. So if I just set the line height, for example 100 pixels, there's no effect. I think let me just add first break it, line height, because this is, we need to break it a little bit. If I just add a break property right here, it's not work. Okay, let me just check this line height real quick on our style.css, and we have line height because we need to add some paragraph tags right here. Refresh, and if I just check the line height on p tag, line height 100, you can see we have line height between two lines, we have gap of 100 pixels. And if we just insert a new line right here, for example, if I just make it break some new line, so what it does is it will add the lines spacing 100 pixels at every line, right? Okay, what next we have is the font properties. So if we just go back here and then select this particular area, and then we have is font family first. So first, font family, what can it do is to change the font, the face of font. For example, we can use, you can see we have a lot of font properties. We can just add or work with them, right? Calibri or Helvetica, or we can see we can just use Calibri Times, which is default. We can just add any font family right here, okay? And then we have font weight, which could be from 100 to 900. This is the weight of the font. A little bit, you can just make it bold, bolder, bold, 100, 800, 700, 400 till 100. You can just make it bolder. There are every font has levels from 100 to 900, the boldness level, right? And then we have font style. We can just say, for example, italic, which is normal, oblique, which is also equal. So we can just make it italic. And then finally we have font variant. What it does is, if I just say, let me say for example small caps, so you can see it just kind of makes the biggest first character and small the other character. It's kind of a little effect on your font. So we use font variant to make them if you want to, right? And finally we can just use Google Fonts. If I just go to Google Fonts, and for example you want to choose a font, there are some standard fonts right here. Let's say for example we want to use this. So if we just click here plus and then click right here, and this is the CDN, it gives us a CDN. If we just copy the CDN, and then we can just go to our index.html and then paste the font link, and then we can just copy the font family right here, and then we can just paste it here to change the font family and save. Go back and see the effect. There it is, right? So you can just go ahead and Google or any website, just copy this CDN and work with any font, any beautiful font you can just copy in Google, right? Okay, so that's how we can work with fonts and text. And in our next video we'll be talking about the widths and heights. So I'll see you.